Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only AR Legends, and yeah, guys, today I am back with another series for you guys, which is going to be what if Naruto was neglected by his family and was the Otsutski legend. So, yeah, guys, it is going to be really overpowered series, so hopefully, you guys will like it. As in this series, Naruto is going to have all the powers of the Otsutski legend, and he would be really overpowered and having all the dojutsus of the Otsutskis as well. So yeah guys, hopefully you guys will like it, and yeah guys, don't worry, I have not forgotten about my previous series Naruto the Destroyer, as I will upload the next part of it as soon as possible as well. So yeah guys, for the next part of this series, the like goal is going to be, let's see about it. Hmm, 200 likes and 80 comments. Do that and I shall upload the next part of this series as soon as possible. So yeah guys, without any further ado, let us start the video. But before that, I would like to make a request to all of you guys who are watching this series. If you guys are new to the channel or if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so. It would be really helpful to me. So yeah guys, please subscribe, and yeah, I have also put the link of my Instagram within the description below. So please guys, follow me on Instagram as well as watch the, you can say, I've also put the link of my other channel within the description below as well. So watch the video as it is a really good video. I have uploaded it, Naruto being neglected and you can say training himself. So yeah, it is a OP series as well. So yeah guys, without any further ado, let us start the video. As I'm going to start my video in the world of the Otsutskis. All the Otsutskis were panicking at the moment as they have, you can say, lost a relic of the past, the very first Otsutski living karma, known as in the form of a box, as the legend has been passed down from one generation to another, and considering that the Otsutskis could live over thousands of years, it was really old. And at the moment, they were trying to find who the, you can say, thief was, as they were trying to find that who was able to steal something as ancient, as powerful as that, but they were unable to find the thief. But unknown to them, it was one of them, as Kaguya Otsutsuki has stolen one of the ancient relics of the Otsutsuki clan, known to possess ancient and immense amount of power. But none of the Otsutsuki were able to do anything with this box, as they did not knew that what it was truly capable of. Many think that it was one of the, you can say, part of the horn of the first Otsutsuki, known as the Otsutsuki god or the Otsutsuki legend. But none of them knew what it truly was, as in reality it contained the very essence of the very first Otsutsuki legend, its living karma, if you must say. While on the other hand, Kaguya Otsutsuki has brought it to the earth, as she has already planned to use it to, you can say, either enhance her powers even further or protect herself when those Otsutskis will try to get rid of her, as she did not knew what it truly contained, as it has the power of the very first Otsutsuki contained inside of it. But she did not knew about it. But time started to pass on as she killed off her partner known as the Ishiki Otsutsuki, and also ate the first chakra fruit, as she became so powerful after that. She completely forgot about its very existence as time started to pass on and the world started to move forward, as the elemental nations were finally born. In the meantime, the fog, you can say, the box was simply, you can say, for the lack of the better word, was simply buried into the bare ground, as this was as time started to pass on even further, and finally the time came when the very ground where it was buried, a village was formed, as this village was none other than Konoha Gakure no Sato, the village hidden in the leaves. As finally, you can say, at the moment, now let us start the video from here on out, as a roar could be heard in the whole village, as a nine-tailed fox was wreaking havoc on the whole village, as the amount of power it contained was really something else, as the shinobis were trying to fight off against the fox, but the fox was unable to be controlled by them at the moment. You can say, he was released from the Sharingan control, as now he was simply looking around the village thinking that where he actually was, but then suddenly he felt a pull. As he looked down to see, narrowing his eyes, something was leeching off his chakra little by little, but it has started to move forward. Within seconds, it has already absorbed 2 tail worth of his chakra, as Kurama was at shock. Whatever this thing was really, you can say, trying to suck up all of his chakra. As he narrowed his gaze, he finally was able to sense something was there at the center of the village, buried deep inside of it, as it was stealing his chakra, as he thought, thinking that it was some kind of seal made by these mortals trying to, you can say, once again, trying to seal him off as he gritted his teeth and started to power up a Biju Dharma ready to blow whatever that seal actually was. But before he could even complete his Biju Dharma, as fourth Hokage has arrived as he got teleported away while buried deep inside of the ground of the, you can say, Konoha, a thing or rather a box which was seen to be like really old and ancient, but at the same time could easily be distinguished from the other, you can say, things that were also present on earth, as it started to glow with, you can say, reddish energy for a moment, but it changed into pure whitish energy known as chakra, as well as it started to glow and glow and glow even further, while on the other hand Minato, Kushina, Jiraiya, Tsunade and the third Okage has already completed their hand sign, as all of them suddenly sat at the same time, seal, as the QB roar, as it got, you can say, separated into two halves, and also, you can say, entered inside of the body of two children known as Menma and Ruko, while at the same time a blinded light engulfed the whole village, as both all of the, you can say, shinobis and civilians present there closed but their eyes by the brightness of the light. It was like the sun has risen up in the whole village, while inside of the box egg is suddenly cracked open as a whitish light erupted from the box, as it was the energy of the very first otsutski, but it needed a medium, it needed a host to contain itself, to sustain itself, otherwise it would simply destroy this whole planet as well as many planets that were around it by the sheer amount of power that was present there, and that it found in the form of a newborn baby, as the energy erupted into the sky and finally erupted inside of a one child which has blondish hair, as suddenly the all of that energy started to engulf the child by the brightness of the light. None of the shinobis present there were able to see what it was, nor they knew anything about it, thinking that it was a side effect of the seal used to contain QB, while on the other hand light finally died down unknown to all of them. A being of immense power has been born that day, and that has the power to not only reshape elemental nations, but many worlds that were beyond it. As now, finally, you can say Minato and Kushina, they simply look around, as well as the third Okage and all the shinobis there. As Minato looked towards, you can say Kushina, who rushed towards her children and started to examine the seal, thinking that something was wrong with the seal. And that was the reason of this light. But she finally saw a relief of sigh, as you can say Minato also started to examine the seal, as seal was perfect on both Menma and Roko. Finally, the QB was defeated as Jiraiya also came along with the third Okage and Tsunade, as Minato smiled. These are my children, they are the savior of this village, as all of them smiled at that. The, you can say, QB attack was finally over. And now let us have a timescape. And in this timescape, Minato has announced to the village about the saviors of the village. As initially some of the people were reluctant, but after they realized that their Hokage has defeated such a great beast, and now it was thanks to the help of the children that started to get, you can say, warm up to the idea of Menma and Ruko being the heroes of the village, completely forgetting that the Hokage also had another child known by the name of Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, as his name started to get overshadowed by Menma and Ruko. While on the other hand, you can say the time started to pass on, and now let us go to the time skip of 5 years. In this 5 years, many things has happened. Menma and Ruko, the hero children of Konoha, has grown up. As while on the other hand, Minato and Kushina were really proud of Menma and Ruko, but Naruto concerned them a little, even though they were more focused on Menma and Naruto. But they were still, you can say, shinobis, and they noticed that Naruto was a different child from Menma and Naruto. That was a, you can say, from really different. You can say that as Naruto did not cry when he was a child. As a matter of fact, he was really intelligent. As Minato, once you can say saw him looking at him when Minato was practicing Rasengan and trying to perfect it in the, you can say, training area as Naruto was only 3 years old, but he was looking towards Rasengan as if examining it, judging it, and you can say trying to think of the ways to improve it. That look in his eyes really scared Minato for a moment, but he did not think much of it as time started to pass on, and the Hokage duties demanded that the next Jinchurikis like Menma and Naruto were to be trained by the excellent shinobis, and Minato was also worried about that masked man who was present there. So as much as he hated to do it, he would need to put Naruto away. As a matter of fact, as he loved Naruto more than Menma and Naruto, but it has to be done. After all, he was the Hokage, as he really liked the name Naruto when Jiraiya announced it in his team, as he wanted his son to have the name and to be able to achieve something like that in the future. But he had to be practical about it. Jiraiya sensei was right. It was pretty possible that Menma and Naruto could be the children of, you can say, destiny, even though a small part of it hoped that Naruto would be the one, just like the story told him in that gutsy tale of Shinobi. As so he decided to pay more focus on Menma and Naruto. After all, they do possess great power in the world, just like the great Elder Toad said, and a great burden. So he started to focus on Menma and Naruto. But if he had paid attention at that day, at the age of 3 years old, when Minato decided to go take a shower after training, he would have seen a 3 year old child looking towards his hand, and then suddenly a Rasengan forming in his hand, and the child looking at it, judging it, and trying to improve it even further. And that day, he would have been scared. But luckily or unluckily for him, he did not pay attention, and now let us have a time skip of 5 years. Menma and Ruko were trying to, you can say, balance leaf exercise as well as trying to walk up to the tree, as Kushina was paying attention to Menma and Naruto. Menma, you can do that. Naruto, focus there much. As Kushina was always obsessed with Menma and Naruto for the lack of the better word, as both of them had pure red hair, just like the Uzumakis. So, in both Menma and Naruto, she saw the future of her clan, and whenever she looked towards Naruto, even though Naruto demanded her of her, you can say, husband Minato, a part of her was disappointed that he did not inherit the Uzumaki features and how he was a failure for that, even though he looked a lot like Minato, but she simply shook her head. But inside of Menma and Naruto, she saw the future, so she was, you can say, really obsessed with their training, and they have also taken the name of Uzumaki Namikaze. As both of them were training, Naruto was simply looking towards them from the window, as he does not know it, but he was a lot different. To be honest, many things these children do, it was like a joke to him. Menma and Naruto were trying to walk up the tree. He had already done it when he was a 3 year old kid. And after that, he also realized that he was different from the people of, as well as the shinobis that were present in the village. Many things they do, that does not make sense to him. Like that tree walking, water walking, he had done it one time, but they were practicing like it was some difficult task. He never understood it, why it was so difficult. And at the moment, Naruto was in the library of Minato as he was going through the chakra thing. Naruto was also obsessed with chakra. He always got intrigued by it, by the usage, by the very theories about chakra, how it came to be, how to use it, as Naruto was not much interested in the whole techniques, like you can say the fireball jutsu or anything like that. He does not care about it, but he was more, you can say, obsessed about the origin and the powers chakra could grant it. And at the moment, he was, you can say, reading a book about manipulation and Kekigenkais. Yes, many questions were coming to his mind, but at the moment he simply ignored it and decided to take a walk around the village. As at the moment he was walking around, people were simply as usual were ignoring it. There were many rumors around the village that how Naruto was, you can say, the Jinchuriki of the, you can say, soul of the Kyuubi, and how Menma Naruto only has power. This rumor was spread by the elders like Homura and Koharu so that the Jinchurikis could be spared the, you can say, the whole abuse by the village, and people could focus that abuse on Naruto and all that. But Naruto did not care much about it. People were still glaring towards him, but Naruto did not pay it much attention. As he was walking around the village, as he noticed a child seemed to be, by the appearance, seemed to be an Uchiha. He had bandages all over his mouth, and he was going through hand signs once again. As Naruto watched it for some time, he was trying to make a, you can say, fireball jutsu. Once again, Naruto was confused why it was so difficult for the child, as after some time, the child was finally able to make it as he laughed and ran off and decided to show his father. As Naruto walked towards the lake, as he looked towards, you can say, hand signs, he never understood it. Why do these people need hand signs to mold his chakra? As Naruto simply shrugged as he opened his mouth and released a gigantic stream of whitish flame that rushed toward the river, almost drying it up. But he finally closes his mouth as he look around to see that he has, you can say, destroyed and you can say fried a lot of water here. It converted into steam. As Naruto looked towards the steam, suddenly it froze and started to convert into a ball of pure stream energy. As Naruto looked towards it for some time, and then he clenches it as all the steam simply disappeared into nothing but chakra and it spread into the very nature. As Naruto looked towards it for some time, as he started to look around him, there was a lot of chakra, especially this intriguing nature chakra, as Naruto was always able to see it, control it. But Naruto simply shrugged and decided to once again have a walk around the village, not paying much attention to, you can say, the people who were still glaring towards him, as he simply walked away. As he finally arrived to the Konoha library, he has already read about all about the shinobis and their culture and all that. To be honest, he did not care much about it, and finally he noticed some signatures were coming towards him, rushing towards him. They seemed to have bad intentions towards it. As he decided to, you can say, see who these people were and why do they want to hurt him. As he went into the secluded area of the forest, and then suddenly he was surrounded by a black, you can say, mask ambush. As Naruto was surrounded by a blank, you can say, mask ambush, as one of the ambush stepped forward, Naruto Uzumaki, you are to come with us by the order of Danzo Sama. As Naruto looked towards him, Danzo, you say? I have never heard about him. Who is he? As the person looked towards him for some time, Danzo Sama is a leader of the Root Division, and he is the, you can say, he leads a division of the Ambu that is secretive to the Hokage, as all the other Ambus look towards him as if he was a fool, and they glared towards him, but unknown too. They were wondering how is this even possible that Seal should be able to prevent him from speaking anything classified. But then suddenly the Ambu that said it went, you can say, numb, and he started to erupt into fire. It seemed that its seal has activated since he has, you can say, released classified information, as that Ambu died right then and there, as well as the seal also destroyed his body. Naruto raised an eyebrow. Intriguing. It seemed that this shinobi have some seal on it, not allowing them to release some kind of information, huh? So this Danzo person want to see him. Naruto does not like that. He's not going to go with these people. As one of the root Ambo, you can say, unsheathed his sword. What did you do to Taicho? You will pay for it, you demon brat. As he rushed towards him, Naruto raised an eyebrow at that word demon. Why do they call him that? This was, you can say, worth investigating, as the root Ambo that was coming towards Naruto, ready to knock him out. Suddenly, he felt himself being surrounded. As he looked back to see that, suddenly his vision darkened, as world around him started to spin like it was, you can say, upside down. He tried to focus himself, wondering where he was. His senses were getting overloaded, and once again, he opened his eyes to see that a kid was standing in front of him. The world was darkened as Naruto looked towards him. I cannot have that. You being, you can say, erupted into fire. So this place, you can say anything to me. Now speak. At that time, the ambush suddenly stiffened and started to speak everything about Danzo and who he was and why Naruto was considered to be a demon. As Naruto raised her eyebrow, intriguing, huh? So my sibling have that beast inside of them, and the civilian and the at the council decided that I should be announced as the Jinchuriki of the soul, huh? Well, that is rather intriguing. Alright then. As Naruto closes his eyes, and once again, he was in the real world. As Naruto looked towards all of them, you guys, I'm not going to come with you. As the Ambus unsheathed their sword, as Naruto sighed. At least it would be fun, as he vanishes from their eyesight as he appeared on top of a tree. As he looked down towards them, as shinobis were looking towards him, the sun was behind them, and suddenly one of the root Ambu's eyes widened when they saw Naruto's eyes changing into that of a Renegan, as suddenly all of the ambos suddenly erupted into the air as their bodies were being floating as Naruto closes his face, and just like that, screams could be heard all across the forest. But good thing that they were at a secluded area. Needless to say, those ambos would never be seen ever again. As Naruto simply decided to walk away. Fine now, while on the other hand, now let us have another time skip as Naruto was now at the age of 8, and you can say he was standing in front of his parents and sibling, as Menma and Naruto were present, as Kushina was smiling at, well, mainly Menma and Naruto, while Minato looked towards Naruto with a bit of guilt in his eyes, but he was still smiling as Kushina speak out, well, Menma, Naruto, it seemed that finally the day has come. You guys will show your talents to, you can say, your teachers as well as your classmates. Show them what the true Uzumakis are capable of. As Menma and Naruto smirk at that, as Minato smiled as he said, well Naruto, you also will try your best as you will also start your training at the training, you can say, academy. As Kushina frowned a little bit at the word Naruto, but she started to simply shook her head. Well Naruto, try to stay out of trouble. Would you do that, huh? And no more pranking the village. I do not like it. Otherwise, you would be punished again. As Naruto simply looked towards her with a blank look he always had, as Kushina never liked it. After all, Uzumakis were happy people. They always laughed and they were always, you can say, good tempered. But Naruto was almost, you can say, opposite of it, and a part of her hated that. It was just another sign that Naruto was not a true Uzumaki. And in her mind, she really, you can say, considered him to be a disappointment as a failure. Well, at least Menma and Naruto would bring honor to the name Uzumaki as she looked towards them. Alright, Menma and Naruto, who were both snickering at that, as Minato, you can say, narrowed his eyes. He has never heard about Naruto pranking. Well, he has seen Menma and Naruto doing it sometime, but he always sent them home to, you can say, get their punishment from Kushina. What was Kushina talking about? As pretty simply shook his head, well, kids, so let us go, alright. As they simply flash away into the academy, and now they were, you can say, it was the very first day of the academy as all the clan heads and the councils were present. After all, this was a batch in which all the claniers were present and they wanted to see the talents of the new generation. And finally, you can say Minato also appeared as he looked towards his children. Alright, guys, show them what you got with a smile and started to walk away towards Jiraiya and Tsunade as well as third Hokage that were present there as Kushina also engulfed, you can say, Menma and Naruto as Naruto simply was looking towards around the children that were present here. They have so less chakra as Naruto was wondering. To be honest, all around people, they were simply too weak in his eyes. They had so little chakra as Naruto was always amused by it. How were they even alive with that amount of chakra? As Naruto could sense the gigantic amounts that were present inside of Menma and Naruto. Even his father and that cage level shinobis do not have much chakra. As Naruto was always intrigued by it all. But anyways, as I started to walk away, wanted to see who these people are, what they were truly capable of, he also notices that kid who was practicing the fireball all those years ago was also present here, but he was seeming different. He had a strange smirk on his face, which was somehow saying that he was superior to all living beings present. But Naruto simply shook his head as he started to walk around, wanting to see who these people truly were capable of. He also notices those Hyugas who have the same eyes, just like his own, which he also was able to control, the Byakugan they call it, but it was different. They were a lot weaker. His could easily see, and if he so desired, could even see across the whole, you can say, nation. But these could only see across few meters and at max a kilometer, nothing more than that. So that was really pathetic in Naruto's eyes, of course. So he simply walk away, fun now. As Minato finally arrived, well, Sensei, so you decided to make it, huh? Jiraiya smirked. Well, of course, I wanted to see what my godchildren were capable of. After all, soon enough, I would have to start their training as well. As Minato nodded at that, well, Kushina has been training them, and I do help them occasionally. But you know, my duties as a Hokage does not grant me much time. As you look to Jiraiya, well, Jiraiya sensei, I wanted to ask you a favor. As Jiraiya raised an eyebrow, what about it, Minato? You know that I'm already going to start the training of Menma and Naruto, so you do not have to ask. As Minato nodded, well, of course that, but I wanted to ask you something else. You see, I do not have much time to train, you can say, Menma and Naruto, but there is other case. I am unable to make, you can say, contact with Naruto as well. It seemed that he's getting distance and more distance from the family. Kushina is training Menma and Naruto so that when the time comes, they could control the power of the QB. But I'm worried about Naruto, so could you occasionally give him some lessons? After all, he's a part of the family and he needs that as well. As Jiraiya frowned at that, Minato, I know that what you're thinking, and I'm sorry to disappoint you, but some things are needed to be done. Menma and Naruto are the children of the destiny. They need to be protected, and I have already informed you about the Ikatsuki. So they need to be ready, Minato. I'm sorry, but Naruto is simply as not important for the moment. But do not worry, he will be trained well in the academy. After all, you and I have trained in the academy, and we have become great shinobis. And when the time comes that he show more talent, then we will teach him some things as well. As Minato frowned at that, but nodded nonetheless. After all, his sensei knows the best. As Tsunade also nodded at that, but did not say anything. While on the other hand, Minato decided to go and give his whole speech about the, you can say, about the academy and the Will of Fire. I do not want to repeat it. And finally, Minato speak up. So we wanted to see the talent of this generation. So we are going to have a small competition in which you guys will show your respective talents and we can understand where you are so that your teachers as if wanted were two chunins could train you. By that you can say with the same efforts after seeing your talents. As the simply nodded at that, all the council members, well, mostly the clan heads were present there, and the whole championship finally began. As the initial matches were, you can say, like civilian children fighting against clan children, that was not much to be discussed, and finally the first competition began. Menma Uzumaki Namikaze versus Kiba Inuzuka. As Kiba came, well, Menma, ready to be loose. Huh? Don't start crying and go to your father when I beat you. As Menma smirked. Huh? Well, bring it on. Dog breath. As Kiba glared towards him. Alright then, start the match. As Iruka finally stepped forward. Alright then, this is a friendly competition, but go ahead, show what you guys are truly capable of. As he winked towards both of them and started the match. As Kiba rushed towards Menma, well, it was a small match. Kiba did not know any jutsu, but while on the other hand, Menma had been great with the substitution jutsu, so it was pretty easy for Menma to defeat Kiba, and after that, it was Naruto versus Hinata Hyuga, which Naruto won, as Hinata had a, you can say, tears in her eyes as Hiyashi had a disapproving look on his face. And finally, it was the match Sasuke Uchiha versus Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. At that name, there were many whispers started to begin all around the people. Minato was not a blind person. He knew that some people had started to spread some rumors about it, but Minato knew that it was not true, so he did not pay much attention about it, and some sent some of his shinobi to arrest some people, not even thinking that those shinobis also believed those rumors and did not do shit about the whole situation. And at the moment, the things were pretty bad around the village. As Minato frowned at that, it seemed that some of the rumors are still spreading. As he narrowed his gaze at that, someone was definitely behind it, but who could it be? While on the other hand, Sasuke stepped forward with a smirk on his face, as Fugaku also had the same smirk on his face as he looked towards Minato, giving him a challenging look. But Minato did not pay much attention on it as he looked towards Naruto, hoping that his son would not get beaten up pretty badly. His guilt also increasing a little bit. After all, Naruto was not being trained alongside Menma and Naruto, well, mainly Kushina was training them, but Minato was also helping along as well. Hopefully, Naruto would not get beaten up pretty badly as he nodded at that thought. As Tsunade speak up, so who do you think will win this one, Jiraiya? As Jiraiya smirk, well, as much as I hate to say it, that Naruto kid does not have much talent. You already know, Tsunade. It seemed that all the talent was stolen by Menma and Ruko when they were yet to born, as he started to laugh at that. So, the Uchiha kid is going to win. Even though he's not as talented as Itachi, he's still considered to be a prodigy, as Tsunade nodded at that. Yeah, I've also heard about good things about that Uchiha brat, so let's see what he is really capable of. As Jiraiya simply nodded at that. As he looked towards Tsunade, get ready, Tsunade, because you're going to need to heal him. I think that the Uchiha will use that fireball against him. As Tsunade frowned, as he said, well, I will heal the brat. As Sasuke smirked, well then, so you're that loser of the Namikaze family, huh? Well, get ready to be beaten by an Uchiha elite like myself. As Naruto looked towards him, I remember you. As Sasuke looked towards him, what do you say, loser? As not so sad, simply shook his head. Don't worry about it. Why don't we start this little matchup of ours, huh? Well then, Sasuke-san. As Sasuke glared towards him, what? You consider yourself to be superior to me? An Uchiha, an elite. I will show you, loser. As Naruto simply raised an eyebrow. At that, what did he say, huh? As Sasuke looked towards, you can say, Iruka, start the match. As Iruka nodded, shooting a glare towards Naruto. And then Sasuke smirked. Alright then, allow me to show you the might of the Uchiha clan as he rushed towards Naruto with a face ready to slam it on Naruto's face. But to surprise, Naruto grabbed his face and you can say rotate his arm in an angle that Sasuke almost let out a girly scream from his mouth, but he gritted his teeth, looking towards his father, who had a disapproving look on his face as Sasuke gritted his teeth. He's not going to be humiliated in front of his father as he once again tried to kick Naruto, but Naruto simply jumped over the kick and he was simply dodging all the attacks of Sasuke at this point as Sasuke was getting angrier and angrier. While on the other hand, in Naruto's eyes, the world was moving slowly as Sasuke who was simply throwing attacks after attacks towards him, but Naruto could see all of them from miles away as he once again jumped over a high kick of Sasuke as Sasuke had more than enough of it, as he started to go through handstand. Allow me to show you the might of the Uchiha fire style, great fireball jutsu. I start to smile at that. Well, he would need to use a lot, you can say less chakra. So, as less chakra as possible, as Naruto, for just a show of it, wanted to see what the hand signs could actually do. Fire style, great fireball jutsu as Minato's as Warden, as well as you can say Kushina, not knowing that the kid could do that as well. As Minato and Kushina did not even knew that Naruto has unlocked his chakra. Thanks to Naruto's chakra being so different, Shinobis were unable to sense it, even the sensors were unable to sense it, thinking that the kid has so little chakra to sense. But in reality, it was the opposite of it. As Naruto released a gigantic fall of, you can say, ball of whitish flames as which completely engulfed the small fireball of Sasuke as Sasuke had a horrified expression on his face as he was about to be engulfed by the fire itself. But suddenly, you can say, a Ambu appeared in front of the fire as he opened a scroll as the fire started to get absorbed inside of it. But the seal was, you can say, finally has absorbed all the, you can say, fire inside of it as Ambu quickly closed the scroll. This was the scroll created by Kushina as well as Minato, the fire absorbing seal, as he looked towards the shaking form of, you can say, the Uchiha, which has already, you can say, wet his pant, as all the many of the clan heads were surprised by the gigantic fireball from Naruto as they looked toward the Uchiha kid who had, you can say, wet his pants, as you can say, Fugaku had a disapproving look on his face with a frown as he glared towards Sasuke who was shaking in his leg. He was about to get, you can say, killed by that fireball, and that kid, he was really dangerous as he looked towards his father as he gulped, as he looked down to see his wet pants as some of the children started to laugh like Menma and you can say Naruto, even though they do not, you can say, consider their older brother to be powerful and nor do they respect him much, but still, they do not hate him. It was like, he's weak, I do not respect him, that kind of thing. But this really surprises them as well, as Kushina has a disapproving look on her face as she looked towards Mikoto, who has rushed towards her child. Naruto need to be teach lesson. This is not the proper way for Uzumaki's to act, as she nodded at that thought. While on the other hand, Minato was beyond shocked. The amount of chakra that was present there, it was easily Chunin level, but the sensors said that Naruto does not have much chakra. It was like his situation when he was a kid. not having much chakra, but with time he was able to grow it to cage level. So he just thought that Naruto got his genes and not much Uzumaki genes. That was one of the reasons he loved Naruto more than Menma and Naruto, even though he has never shown it much. As Naruto simply looked towards Sasuke, who was taken away by Makoto, and that Ambu, as Naruto looked towards him, as but he simply shook his head. There was something off with him, but he simply walked away. Fun now, as the whole competition was finally started to go on, and now it was, you can say, finally Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze versus Menma Uzumaki Namikaze, as Menma entered the ring with a smile on his face as he said, "Well, Nisam, it seemed that you're more powerful than I gave you credit for. Well, I must apologize for that. But do not worry, I will show you the true might of the Uzumaki clan, just like the mother taught us. And do not think that you can use that fireball against me. Just to tell you that I have water affinity, as not to look towards his little brother and nodded at that. To be honest, there is not much heat between him and his sibling. It was just that they were, you can say, a bit of gap thanks to his mother. They always push them away, but Naruto does not hate them, not he cared about them much. So he simply looked towards his little brother. Don't worry about it, Menma. Why don't you show me about all the training you're getting from mom? At this, Menma smiled as he said, "Alright then, allow me to show you the power of the Uzumaki clan and the Uzumaki heir." As he brought up his, you can say, taijutsu of the Uzumakis, as he looked towards Kushina, who had a smile on her face, as after all, she has already chosen Menma to be the designated heir for the Uzumaki clan, and and Minato would agree with that as well. He would be the heir of the Uzumaki and the Namakase clan at the same time, and you can say Naruko would be a great help for him with her chakra chains, and Naruto, as she frowned at that, maybe he could become a side member for the Namakase clan. Yeah, that would be helpful for Minato's clan, as she nodded in her head. As Menma smirked as he launched himself towards Naruto with a high kick to his face, as Naruto was impressed with the speed. It was greater than that of Sasuke's, but nothing he could not handle. Once again, Naruto sidestepped the kick, and once again, Menma released a barrage of attacks. After all, the Uzumaki style is to overwhelm your enemy with attacks and being able to defend themselves with their, you can say, strong bodies. But to his surprise, Naruto was dodging all of his attacks like they were nothing. There were many murmurs among the clans that Naruto has taken after his father with the speed department, as Minato was also impressed by it all. As while on the other hand, you can say Naruto once again jumped over a high kick of Menma, and with a, you can say, low kick, he tried to sweep Menma, but Menma at the last second was able to jump away as Naruto smiled at that and decided to, you can say, take it a bit seriously as he vanishes from the eyes of Menma. As many of the clan heads were shocked, that was at least Chunin level speed. He was behind Menma within second, and you can say launch a punch to the back of Menma's head. He was thinking that Menma would be able to dodge it, but unknown to him, no one was able to catch the amount of speed he has used, well except the clan heads of course, as Menma got knocked out with a simple punch to back of his head. He has lost consciousness, as shocking most of the clan heads that were present there. After all, they have only, you can say, heard rumors about the prodigy Menma and Ruko were, as Kushina had a frown on her face, as how that even possible? They were only 8-year-old kids, as she rushed towards Menma and tried to see if he was alright, as she got shot a glare towards Naruto and brought Menma to, you can say, Tsunade to heal him, going frantic over his condition, while on the other hand Minato was beyond impressed at this point. But Jiraiya and Tsunade were, you can say, fussing over Menma as Naruto had a frown on his face. He was not even using a percentage of his speed and power, but it seemed that his siblings need to train a little bit more, as he nodded at that, and finally it was Naruto versus, you can say, Naruto, as Naruto smiled towards Naruto. "Well, Nissan, it seems that you are really hiding your strength, huh? Well, that is good. But do not believe that if you have defeated Menma, that you can defeat me. After all, I am stronger than him." As Naruto nodded at that, "Alright, Naruto, I'm ready to see what you're truly capable of." As Naruto frowned at that, as she shot a glare towards him, "Do not think that you're superior to me, and do not use that tone with me." As Naruto raised an eyebrow at that, but Naruto simply shook her head. "Alright, start this match." As Iruka nodded as she shot another glare towards Naruto, which once again got, you can say, ignored. As Naruto let out a war cry as she rushed towards Naruto. Naruto once again raised an eyebrow, wondering if she had some plan, and that was there. Suddenly, chakra chains erupted from the ground, ready to capture Naruto, as Naruto was easily able to see them, but he wanted to see what it was truly capable of as chakra chains erupted into, you can say, into his leg, quickly wrapping themselves around it as Naruto smirked. Well, Nissan, it seemed that the match is over. Those chains suppresses one's chakra. I bet that you cannot even use it, right? As Naruto looked towards her, these chains were trying to do that, but it was like, you can say, it was like building a small door to stop or a wall to stop the ocean that was rushing towards it. As Naruto simply looked towards Naruto. Well, not actually Naruto. I do say that those are good weapons in the world, but they are not strong enough. As Naruto simply walked towards her as the chains tried to stop him, but simply shattered into pieces as Naruto's eyes widened as Naruto was in front of her face within seconds as they flipped her on the forehead as Naruto was launched like a rocket as she got slammed into the wall nearby as Naruto looked towards finger. Oops. It seemed that he has used more force than he wanted to, but once again Naruto was knocked out as Kushina rushed toward Naruto and brought her to Tsunade as well. It seemed that she need to have a talk with Naruto. Just because Menma and Naruto are taking easy on him does not mean that he need to take advantage of the situation and try to beat them, and she would need to have a talk with Naruto. This is no proper way for the Uzumaki to behave, as she nodded at that thought and shot a glare towards Naruto, while on the other hand Minato was now impressed as he looked toward third Hokage, who also had an impressed look on his face. Minato, I must say that you have done a great job with Naruto. It seems that he has taken after you in speed department and Kushina's strength. He also have it. That is beyond impressive, being able to, you can say, shatter chakra chains even though they were a lot weaker compared to Kushina, but they are still quite good, Minato. As Minato nodded at that, well, I was hoping that Sensei would be able to train him since, I'm the Hokage and Kushina is focusing on Menma Naruto for the QB chakra. So, I do not know what to do about the situation. And no, I do not have anything to do with the training of Naruto for now. But I do want to train him in the future. It is just that after the QB attack, and the Uchiha situation as well, as third Hokage taught it for some time. Well, Minato, if you do not mind, I could occasionally give him some lessons, as Minato taught it for some time. To be honest, it was not much of a bad idea. Yeah, that could be done. As I look to a third Hokage, really, Lord Third, that would be really helpful. As Hiruzen smiled at that. Who knows, he could get a good apprentice in Naruto. As Naruto simply looked toward the unconscious form of both Menma and Naruto, as he simply shrugged at that. It seemed that his sibling need more training. Well, at least their parents were right. They were weak. They needed all the training in the world. As Arthur nodded at that thought and simply decided to walk away. For now, well, he was unable to use any of his dojutsus in the fight. So, yeah, that was a bummer. So, hopefully in the future he will get more exciting fights, as he nodded at that thought. But hey guys, here I will love this part. Hope you guys enjoyed it. In the next part, if you guys have some ideas, please tell me in the comment section. I will think about it. So yeah guys, see you soon. Peace.